For the first time in history, the Western Mustangs and the Montreal Carabins will meet in a national semifinal game, with the winner going on to Kingston next week to play in the Vanier Cup. With the Western Gazette, I'm Ryan Goodison.
I'm Manan Joshi.
And I'm Varun Reddy.
We're here outside Western Alumni Stadium, but today's annual Uteck Bowl will be played at Sepson Stadium at the University of Montreal. But it was here on Haler-Samotic Field that the Western Mustangs won their third straight Yates Cup and their 35th in program history. Looking back at that game against the Wilfrid Laurier Golden Hawks, what did you guys like on the Mustang side of things?
For me, Ryan, it has to be Western's masterclass defensive performance against one of the best offenses in the country in Taylor Alguerzma and the Golden Hawks receiving court. Yes, Laurier went into halftime with 2 touchdowns and a 6-point lead, but the Mustangs defense came out of the locker room and did not let Laurier gain a single down in the third quarter and pitched a second half shutout. Truly one of the best games the defense has seen all season.
Yeah, on offense, I think big props have to go out to Western's running back core and their O-line. No Keon Edwards, no Keanu Yazbek, doesn't matter. The O-line was bolstered by the return of Eric Anderson, and they bullied the Golden Hawks all night long, continuously creating holes in their defense and making huge gaps for their running backs to get through. Although Western had no rushing touchdowns, Ethan Dolby and Troy Thompson gave the Golden Hawks hell, getting 100 yards plus each on the ground.
And of course, we can't forget about the Yates Cup MVP himself, Mr. Brian Garrity, 6 field goals and 1 PAT for 19 total points. And without him, who knows if we'd be even talking about the Uteck Bowl. It's not often kickers get those awards, but it was clear that it meant a lot to his teammates to see him get that recognition. And after the game, Garrity said that he thinks this Mustangs team can go all the way. But before that, they're going to have to get through the Densmore Cup-winning Montreal Carabins. They captured that trophy last week, taking down the team who beat the Mustangs last year, the Laval Rouge et Or, 12-6. And let's just say first downs were hard to come by.
Yeah, Ryan, Laval and Montreal combined for just 30 first downs in the Dunsmore Cup. Now, in comparison, Western had 28 first downs alone against Laurier in the Yates Cup. Despite Montreal winning the game, they only gained 236 yards of total offense. Carabins quarterback Jonathan Senecal had 175 passing yards and was the team's leading rusher with 32 yards. Senecal threw no touchdowns and was sacked 4 times, but didn't give up an interception. Montreal offense only put up a field goal at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was really Montreal's defense that led the way. They intercepted Laval 4 times, 3 of those times off Laval's starting quarterback Arnaud Desjardins, one of which was returned for a pick 6. But as quiet as Montreal's offense was against Laval, it's clear that game isn't as indicative as their season has gone.
For sure, Ryan. Senecal has been outstanding all season long and was named the RSEQ MVP, throwing for 2,215 yards with 15 touchdowns only through 8 regular season games. He also had 394 rushing yards and 6 rushing touchdowns, which was leading his team in both those categories. He's a dual threat quarterback all the way through. But through that season, Montreal definitely was a defense-first kind of team. Through the 8 regular season games, they had 3 fumble recoveries, 13 interceptions, and 18 sacks. And that'll be the biggest test for Mustangs defense so far this year.
Completely agree. This game is going to be the biggest test than both Saskatchewan in 2021 and Laval last year. Everyone on the offense will have to be on their game, especially against a team like Montreal that will force you into making mistakes. But what do you guys think is going to be the difference maker in this game for the Mustangs?
The Mustangs O-line is going to be crucial in this matchup. They're going to have to protect their quarterback, Evan Hillock, for as long as they can. And they proved last week that no matter how good your rushing defense is, the Mustangs will wear you down until all you can do is watch those Mustangs run through.
I think for Western, it's definitely about making Senecal super uncomfortable in that quarterback position. They got to neutralize that receiving core. They got to collapse on the pocket quickly. And they definitely have to make sure when he decides to run, there's nowhere to go. That guy's a Swiss Army knife. And if you don't focus on him, he will make your team suffer.
I don't really have a specific player to highlight, but I think we'd all like to see the Mustangs offense break through with some more touchdowns. They only had 1 against Laurier. Of course, you have Garrity, and he's proven that he's going to get you 3 points when it matters, but definitely need to see more of those running backs and receivers break through into the end zone. Kickoff is at 12 p.m. at the University of Montreal. Mustangs country. Let's ride.